The Indianapolis Colts lose their first game of the season on the road against a very good Los Angeles Rams team, 27-20. I thought this game was less about what the Rams did and much more about what the Colts did. Colts team that came into that game, obviously 3-0, but they hadn't turned the football over. And for the first time all year, they turned the football over. They had 3 of them, and the Rams only turned the football over once. When you have a turnover differential of 2, you're probably, or -2, I guess, if you're the Colts, you're going to lose. That is just the reality of it. Okay, we saw it for the Colts in their first 3 games. They won the turnover battle in every single game. And this is not a good Colts defense. It's just the reality of it. Kyren Williams ran the football whenever he wanted to against the Colts yesterday. I mean, it was really incredible to watch. It's why are the Rams even trying to throw the football? Just turn around, hand it off to Kyren Williams, because every time he was handed the football, he played really well. He had 13 carries for 77 yards. He averaged 6 yards a carry. Incredible. The fact that he only carried the football 13 times is just baffling, all things considered. But then you're like, well, Jonathan, Puka Nacua did have 13 receptions for 170 yards and a touchdown. That's, I guess that's a pretty good reason to keep throwing the football. But for the Colts, Daniel Jones throws 2 interceptions. Everyone is going to blame A.D. Mitchell for, what should have been a touchdown. He goes to celebrate, and he loses the football, fumbles it through the back of the end zone, and it ends up being a touchdown. But it was just a really sloppy game from the Colts as a whole. 3 turnovers, 11 penalties for 88 yards, multiple of them in the red zone. And you just can't have that if you're going to go on the road and beat a team as good as the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, they also missed multiple opportunities. Zaire Franklin dropped an interception on the Rams' first drive. Javarius Ward dropped an interception on the Rams' first drive in the second half. This Colts defense is not consistently good. We saw it. Kyren Williams averaged 6 yards a carry. Puka Nacua at 170 receiving yards because Xavier Howard needs to go to a freaking retirement home. I mean, geez. I don't think you can get any worse at corner than Xavier Howard. Seriously, a change has to be made there at some point. Okay, so those 2, I'm not going to call them mistakes, but those two opportunities to force turnovers that the Colts missed were important. Xavier Howard's pitiful defense was important. The 2-minute drive to close the first half from the Rams was impeccable, but it was impeccable because this Colts defense offered no resistance whatsoever. The A.D. Mitchell fumble, I should probably talk about it more than I have. The people calling for him to be cut are just dumb. And no way around it. He's a second-year player, and I get it. The play sucks, and you would have thought that he would have learned from Jonathan Taylor's mistake last year. But did you see the first 74 yards of the play? The dude makes a contested one-handed catch, breaks, out of the hold that the Rams defender has on him, and then he spins out of that same player's tackle, and then he just runs away from everybody. He's too talented to cut. If they cut him, he would be picked up as soon as he cleared waivers. There's a team that'd be like, we will gladly, the Panthers. The Panthers would be like, we would love to take A.D. Mitchell. We need to get Bryce Young all the help we can because Bryce Young doesn't look very good. So the Colts just made a lot of mistakes that they hadn't made throughout the season. 3 turnovers, a lot of penalties, and then you pair that when you're playing Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Devontae Adams, and a really good run game. You're not going to win. That's just the very simple reality of it. If the Colts want to hang their hat on anything positive, it's Laiatu Latu. 9 pressures, a sack, 2 quarterback hits. He lived in the Rams' backfield. That was the first time he played a game where it was yeah, this guy looks like he was worthy of being the first defensive player taken in the NFL draft like he was in the 2024 NFL draft. So the Colts clearly have some issues. Clearly, right? There's a lot of issues on defense. Immaturity from A.D. Mitchell is an issue. I didn't think that they did a great job of getting Jonathan Taylor involved early. Only 6 touches in the first half. Like, that's not enough. That's a coaching thing. So, like, they've clearly got some issues. Daniel Jones, people are going to say that he regressed. Both interceptions were terrible. But, like, outside of those 2 possessions, like, I thought he played a really nice game. So, he's just got to clean up those 2 picks. Leatu Latu looks like he's really starting to come around a little bit. So, there's your one positive. But the Colts are 3-1. They lost by 7 in a game where they did everything possible or everything within their power to try to lose it. Like, obviously, you'd love to start 4-0, but, like, the Colts are going to be fine. They're going to go home. They're going to host the Raiders and the Cardinals, 2 very winnable games. We can look up, and the Colts could be 5-1. That is very much within the cards. The Rams continue to look like a team good enough to win the Super Bowl. Okay? Like, that defense is really good. The defensive line, especially, like that Colts offensive line is good. I understand that Mac and Salvis didn't play, but I don't think it would have mattered. Like, Jared Verse and Byron Young and those dudes, every time the Colts had a big third down, the Rams got home with 4. And when you can get home with 4, you don't need as much talent on the back end of your defense. And while I don't love the Rams at corner, if you can drop 7, then you can kind of cover up for that a little bit. So, and then offensively, I don't think I need to explain why the Rams are good on offense. I would hope that you're smart enough to understand that. So the Rams, very much good enough to win the Super Bowl. Their game Thursday night against the 49ers, a really big one. Both teams are 3-1. I would undoubtedly take the Rams just because the 49ers are incredibly injured. But big game for them Thursday night. The Colts, they're going to be fine. They're still a good football team. Ignore everyone saying to cut A.D. Mitchell and ignore everyone saying that Daniel Jones receded back to being a bum, because that's just not true.